Hello, thank you for your patience with this video. This is a quick hi before we get started. So this is pre-recorded, so I'm going to talk through the slides with you shortly. You won't see my face, so this is just me saying hello at the beginning. And a heads up, this is a 20-minute video in the end, not 15 minutes. This is quite a hefty topic, lots to cover within it, but I hope it adds some value. So it might be helpful for you to find a quiet 20 minutes to sit and work through this, maybe with a notebook. And I'll share the slides afterwards. And also within it, there's a little suggested meditation. And I will provide some notes on that so you can think through it yourself after the presentation. But I hope you enjoy it. And I'd love to know, really truly love to know, if this is of value to you and if this is the kind of thing that's helpful. If it isn't, please let me know, because this is all for you. All right, take care. Bye. Hello, so welcome to How to Trust Your Own Voice Above Other People's. Thanks for your patience on this. So this is a big topic, and we're going to cover some of the crucial elements of this today. And then I'm going to share ways to continue this gradual evolving of yourself, which will bring so much more joy and ease into your life. So let's get started. Here's what we're going to cover. So we're going to start by looking at what trusting your voice actually means and looks like. We're going to look at some of the key things that are stopping us from trusting our voice above other people's. We're going to learn 2 core priorities to keep in mind to get you connected to your sense of self-trust ASAP. And then, because I'm all about maximising your time and energy in practical ways too, I'll share 2 practical techniques for you to apply right away to start seeing this finally shift in your life. So let's get started. So what trusting your voice looks like. So here's what I mean when I talk about trusting your voice. We're talking about trusting your intuition, that gut instinct, that inner knowing. So it's trusting that feeling in the body and paying attention to the fact that that intuition is generally non-verbal. You know, it's on a much deeper level than logical thinking. It's about creating a deep connection to yourself, which brings so much clarity. So the dictionary description of intuition is the ability to understand something instinctively without the need for conscious reasoning. So this is what we mean by something much deeper than logical thinking. And our bodies are so wise, and I think it's easy to become disconnected from them. You know, but it knows what we need and it sends us signals, and it's our job to listen and trust that despite what other people say. That's trusting your voice. So awesome. You know, do you notice, so thinking about inspirational leadership, do you notice how some people exude calm confidence? Many people who are successful cite trusting their intuition as a core part of their success. They've found a coherence within themselves. So I'm not saying we all want to be the next Oprah, but these examples of people many look up to show the power of trusting our own voice. So as you can see here, Oprah says, "I've trusted the still, small voice of intuition my entire life. And the only time I've made mistakes is when I didn't listen." Richard Branson says, "I rely far more on gut instinct than researching huge amounts of statistics." So many successful people like these who last the course are highly attuned to their intuition, and they're not afraid to go with that despite what others say. So that to me is trusting your voice. Trusting your voice to me is also living to your fullest potential. It gives you a consistent opportunity to grow and open. And as humans, it's in our very nature to be growing and evolving. It's part of the natural world. You know, so the possibilities when you trust yourself, they're so exciting. You know, personally for me, since sticking with my intuition, I've never felt so content, capable and at ease with myself. And this doesn't have to be about being extroverted and really out there. I'm talking about a quiet confidence. And I truly, truly believe that when those of us with huge hearts, just like you listening, know how to trust themselves without feeling bad about it, everyone benefits. You become the leader of your life. You lead by example to yourself and to others. And the world needs so many more compassionate leaders at all levels. So this is what I mean by trusting your voice. So, what's stopping us from trusting our voice? So, the outer world, the noise of the outer world. So we've got societal, familial, cultural, social expectations. And we've got conflicting information in the media, online, social media, all of this stuff. You know, it's a culmination of a lifetime of identity formation and an adaptation of our behaviour to fit in. And as we fit into these constructs growing up, we can lose our own sense of self, our own identity. You know, we so often unconsciously make assumptions that other people must be right, or even subtle assumptions about ourselves that are playing in the background that we don't even realise we're saying to ourselves. And the brain is really cool, of course, and it has something called mirror neurons. We're actually hardwired to look around and do what other people are doing, which influences our behaviour. We're looking for connections and to find a sense of belonging. So it's part of who we are. And then combined with that, our own basic human needs. So in psychology, it's widely known that humans have some core basic needs before they can reach their full potential and their true happiness. And these three listed here are three of the key needs. So safety, belonging, self-esteem. But these three, I believe, are things that we can cultivate in our own relationship with ourselves. And trusting ourselves is the best way to do that. So this might seem like a vague concept, but think about the relationships you have with others, which consist of two-way conversations, transfers of information, assumptions, and then consider that that same thing's happening within you all the time. There's constantly a narrative running through your head. All the time we're thinking, processing, assuming, judging ourselves. Usually it's completely unconscious. That's where this work comes in. These subtle thoughts are running our show. They're dictating how we respond to situations, and they're keeping us stuck in our habitual patterns. Unless we pay attention to them more consciously, they will continue to dictate our lives. And finally, self-judgment holds us back. So this is one way that we're disconnected from our own inner knowing. Believing and internalising external opinions and judgment without questioning whether they're true or fair smothers our own inner knowing and adds to confusion and self-doubt. And then pushing down any uncomfortable feelings or discomfort in the body, maybe through some sense of belief that we can't cope, we're weak, we're not good enough. Judging ourselves leaves us really disconnected. So what can we do about it? Here are two priorities I would recommend to trust your voice. So, number one, do what's required. Do whatever's needed to find a safe home within yourself. So starting to learn to love yourself and checking in with how you are and how hard you are on yourself. So just to go a bit deeper on this, the more you learn to love who you are, the more you trust yourself, the more you feel safe in your decisions. Loving yourself actually changes your body's state. It changes your energy. It changes your hormones, your nervous systems. How can you love yourself more? By moving towards rather than away from what your body needs. Facing those feelings rather than pushing them away. That will help you build this relationship of trust and of love with yourself. Can you do this for yourself? Can you take a few minutes to connect to your breath? To calm the judging mind and notice what comes up. breathing is the centre of life. Conscious breathing allows us to regulate our emotion. So can you do this for yourself? Can you meet yourself where you are? It's okay. You are safe. Can you notice what you need? And can you decide how to address that? Can you think of the concrete step you can take to ease this burden? Can you notice then if any resistance comes up? What you might be telling yourself to stop progress? And can you put that into words? And then work out what you need to do to overcome this. I'll share this idea with you in the notes afterwards. So taking a few minutes to find that safe home within yourself. Start building your sense of trust and love and respect. So important. Owning these feelings that come up, they'll help you to prove to yourself that things aren't always the way they seem. You'll see that the power is truly in your hands, and the energy shift will be immense from this. And second, doing what's required to create more belonging in your outer world. So finding your people. So the people who think like you. Remember the mirror neurons we talked about? You want to be influenced by the right people. A little hint, this community is full of those people. So just think about, check where the advice you're receiving is coming from. Are these people you aspire to be like? Do they live their life in the way you connect with? Decide how people are feeding your well-being. Curate your circle. Make sure that most of your attention's going on the people who think like you, because that impacts how you're influenced. And then think about earmarking or finding one or two people who you can trust, who don't judge you. If nobody comes to mind, seek them out. Build your community of like-minded people. Make the effort to find your people. This community, again, is a really good place to start if you're seeking people. I'm always here to help. But we can never underestimate the impact of the people around us and the environment around us. Again, coming back to those mirror neurons, it's actually a part of the way we're built. And then 2 practical techniques to think about, which you can start to take action on straight away. So number 1, creating a bank or a toolkit of resources. So you know exactly where to turn in moments of doubt or anytime you want to start thinking about this stuff. So here's a little list of ideas to get you thinking. Some resources from my website, so the 2-minute audio meditation, 10-minute meditation videos, yoga, maybe playlists that really get you connected to yourself, that make you feel great, podcasts that talk about this stuff, people that you really admire, that inspire you, blogs to the same effect. And how about curating your environment and your surroundings? So I'm talking about even things like just reviewing your media outlets, so your social feeds, your news feeds, your emails, unsubscribing from anything that doesn't bring you absolute joy. And just enjoy this process of curating regularly and tweaking. The more things are in line with your preferences, the more you'll become connected to you. You can review your journal. So anything you've written down, just have a look back, start to make connections from what you've said, see the progress that you're making, celebrate your wins, review your calendar. What's in there that makes you feel less than excited in the pit of your stomach? That's trusting your voice. Go for a walk, have a shower, those moments where you're just with yourself. So these are some examples. And having a range of options available to choose from based on the time, energy, privacy that you've got means that you know exactly what to do in those precious moments. So you're not scrabbling around and trying to find something to do. And then secondly, create a regular slot to act differently and give this as much importance as your other tasks. So disrupting normal day-to-day patterns is a really powerful way to change. So making this a regular habit makes the process so much easier, and it helps you to see progress far quicker. So when your mind's scattered, trusting your voice is very challenging. And doing this, creating a regular slot, gives you a consistent, safe space to quiet your mind and feel into your body. Gives you a chance to put all of that outer feedback to one side and focus on you and what your body's saying. So remember that intuition tends to be non-verbal. It's a sense, it's a feeling, it's a deeper feeling. And learning to put it into words makes it more real. It means that you can know and learn how to respond. So use that time to free write how you feel. Just let it all come out into words and start to make sense of those words, the commonalities. Giving the feelings and senses a description gives them dimension. So this also means that you're giving yourself time before acting on anything that frustrates you. So it helps you to learn to trust first, to take that gut feeling as a signal to sit with it, feel it, understand it, and make sense of it. So just as an example, one of the most helpful shifts in mine and Carl's marriage has been to allow each other the space to process feelings when we're upset or angry and revisit the situation once we've worked through it in our heads. So this is again where creating time to think differently is so crucial. You're giving your nervous system a chance to reset every single day as well if you create a slot for this, and it will thank you for it. You'll notice a difference as that starts to recalibrate. So ultimately this is about trusting you and not following another person's step-by-step plan. You're in charge. So I hope this was helpful. I'm just going to re-summarise what we've covered. So we talked about what trusting your voice actually looks like. Talked about what can stop us from trusting our voice, what can get in the way. 2 key priorities to focus on to start trusting your voice more. And then 2 practical techniques which you can apply straight away. So I hope this was helpful. But what I will say is that lasting change comes from consistency in the deep work. Something like this, it takes consistent effort, and it's always worth the reward, worth the effort, the rewards that you'll reap from that in your entire life. So this work is an undoing. It's a gradual shift. So when you're disconnected from that inner voice, you feel it in the body. There's a healing that's required, and there's work to be done to build that sense of trust. It doesn't just happen. There is no quick fix. But the impact of this will reverberate across your entire life, and things that don't make sense now will start to make sense. Suddenly things will become clearer. You'll start to understand who you are and what drives you. It's so worth it. And this is obviously a topic really close to my heart. I'm absolutely passionate about helping you on this, because I know that only when I created a sense of safety and love within myself could the rest happen. So just to give you a heads up, I have a program coming out called Choose You. It's an online self-paced program, and it goes really deep on this stuff. It's a culmination of my direct experience, and it blends key modalities that you can turn to in situations like this. So it combines techniques used in therapy, coaching techniques, powerful meditations, visualizations, questioning, uncovering of yourself. It addresses the mind, it addresses our body's wisdom, and using those tools to powerful effect. And it also carefully preserves your huge heart and generous nature so that you can access your full potential as a force for immense good in the world. I really believe that. This program and this entire topic is about the entire ecosystem of your life. You've got to think about your work, relationships, your health. Everything's connected, and it's all determined by your relationship with yourself. So this is the deep, loving, ultimate self-care work that'll stop you searching for answers and it's led by you at your pace, with me cheering you on and keeping you on track. So if you'd like to learn any more about the programme or join, send me a note or a comment, or you can find more information at jodiejohnston.co.uk. Completely your call, of course. So I just want to wrap up with this by saying, if trusting your voice is an issue for you, I absolutely know that you can change this. And I am here to remind you of that constantly and to be cheering you on. I hope this was really helpful for you. I would really love if you could do me a favour and share your insights from this video. Let me know if there was anything new that you learned, any aha moments, anything that you're thinking of implementing, and anything that you want to share with the group that they might find of value. You never know when they might need to hear what you've got to say. So thank you again for taking the time to follow this video. Take care.